made me enemies. Cops in hotspots concerned about personal safety. Husband of mom killed in protest keen to meet Commissioner of Police. Kamala PM wrong about UNC support for bail bill. Scotland chosen to represent PNM in Port of Spain South. Hospital protests on hold. Boy 16 held for stabbing death of homeless man. Traffic warden awarded $122,000 for wrongful arrest. Union leader, government has sidestepped its responsibility. I need to go in and see who is that union leader. I just feel I know who it is, you know. Hey boy. Embracing the truth. Fuad Abubakar on $75,000 bail. Struggle continues for migrant workers. And these are some of the stories making way in the Express, the Guardian, and the Newsday. So you can go there and get the papers of your choice, read up on the stories, see what's happening, see what's going on. So So as I open the lines to take your calls, my numbers are 3420081, 7711791, 4665391 if you're calling from the US and anywhere abroad, 718-874-3860. It's Bacchanal Friday right here on the Street 909 FM with your Titans of Democracy. I was looking for a story in the papers that I saw on the headline, but I'm not seem to be finding the story at all. caller. Good morning.
Blessed morning to you, Bruce Wayne.
Hey, morning, my brother. How are you this morning?
All listeners and callers. My issue is the press conference with the Prime Minister held yesterday. Well, he set up a committee.
Mm-hmm.
It takes 5 killings for the youths from Charlotte Street to Lady Young Road to the Eastern Main Road, that catchment area, Silas and Beatum, to say they put in the self together to fight against the police. Well, now, as all they together they know, they have a committee in place. Get all the act together to do what is needed for the community. That we should have no more killings in the area that I now describe. You know why, Bruce? It have enough work for the youths and them to get. If this committee is serious about doing things in the area. For example, you see the Southeast Port of Spain School, they have 2 months now to give it a good refurbishment so that the children who are going out to school would get something nice instead of having it in this half-done, half-baked cake that they tried to give them just before last year, if you was watching you. It have other schools to do. You see the East Driver, we start from up by Hilton, that whole thing need refurbishing. You see the housing, Canada, up in John had a fire. Up to now, they didn't repair that. You see the decanting center areas that they mashed down and they clear, or they put plans in place to put housing there. You see the housing on the South Key, what the government was giving to the Chinese? Check all yourself good and see if it can have a good contractor in Trinidad and Tobago to do that project. And Bruce, you see the bottom of the East River, where the lighthouse, some years ago, they do some refurbishment work down there. It wasn't cleaning again. And down at the bottom of the East River, where the catchment is down by fisheries down there, that one cleaning. Those are the things that I would like to see done with this committee that is formed and other things. They have other things that they will be seeing.
No, but work down by that catchment you're talking about until the bottom of East Driver, that has started, you know. I see some excavators inside of there the other day.
Yeah, well,
Bruce, Caller.
Hello.
Good morning, everybody. Caller, hold on.
Then Miss Felix, let me finish and then...
Wait. No. I'm not going to allow you to finish. I'm going to ask you one question.
Yeah.
Good morning to everybody. I heard you said about the decanting center and the areas and so on. Do you live in East Port of Spain?
I live in Sogatres.
Right. Do you know what would have happened to that area?
As a sure, Miss Felix, I just pointing out what I would like to see.
Caller, I'm asking a simple question.
Like?
Do you know what had happened to that particular area?
Well, up to now, as I see, that is all I see happen. They mashed down all the place and it just vacant.
Caller, I want to just put you on a little alert and I want to save you from yourself.
No, let me finish.
Get your information. No. I tell you all that this program is not to come here and spread propaganda that you don't know about. Before you do all of this, I'm asking kindly to do a little research and find out. Maybe there are some people in that area would not want to speak to nobody to tell them anything because they fear for their life. But before you say all of that, I want you to go and do your research and then come back and talk to us. I am not going to sit here and allow people to say things that they don't know about.
Did you hear my first conversation?
I was listening to you very clearly.
From the beginning?
I was listening to you very clearly.
Well,
and that is the problem we have in society.
The area that I described, the youths and them talk about putting the guns together to fight the police. I said they put the youths and them come together now to develop what I would like to see done. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here. Let me say good morning. You know that the problem we have in this country is that we love to talk plenty, but we don't like to get the information before we talk. We don't like to get the information before we talk. And before all these things happen, we have to get the people to understand when projects are coming in your area, it is for the benefit of your community. And that's what we're supposed to be talking about. You want to see this happen, you want to see that happen, you want to see this happen. We have to have consultation with the people and get them to understand this is about you. Let me just say, I'm walking, I was listening all the way coming, and let me just say something. I am for development. I am for righteousness and goodness. But we have to understand as a people, we too have to want it. And not everything is about violence and confusion and mayhem. Put down the guns, we could come together for a cause. Why we can't come together for the development of our community? I could tell you in some areas, when work goes in, it's bacchanal and mayhem. The contractor don't want to go back in. We have to change that mindset so we could have a recovery team spending billions of dollars. And when they go to do the work, it's confusion and bacchanal. First thing before anything could be done, we as people have to change our mindset. We must do that. I have a serious problem when people talking about things that they're not sure of, you know. Let us be careful. Yes, the young men want work and they want this and they want that and they want the other. And sometimes all of that. A contractor get a job, go on to do the work, he can't finish the work because it has confusion. Okay then. Let us discuss coming together as a community. We have plumbers, we have masons, we have carpenters, we have electricians. And let's say we make a representation to go and do the same project in that area. Can all of them work together without any form of confusion? So what we first have to do is go in and talk to the people in the area and find out what it is they want. And then let them sign to it. So anybody break the truth, we will take them to task. The Prime Minister telling us violence and destruction is not the way. So a police officer get killed. 3 other persons get killed. The police, it is alleged, you say the police killed the 3 other people. Bacchanal and confusion start. I am sure this first set of protests was not intent on all of this confusion and bacchanal. I am sure that. So hope for crime hotspots. But how are you going to bring the hope for the crime hotspots? How are we going to deal with that? Trinidad and Tobago, I'm here. Let me say good morning. Good morning to Bruce. Good morning to all you listeners, all you viewers and everyone. I don't know now. We have to go to the headline news. Sponsored by Green Dot Limited. I want to hear nothing about no hope for no crime spot, you know. Here I want to hear hope for the community. Hope for the community. We have to change the way we do things, because we wouldn't get nothing.
From the street, 919fm.com. Here's what's happening.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I am Sharon Felix.
And I'm Jason Thomas.
And this is our 6 a.m. headlines on the street 919 FM, courtesy Green Dot Limited. In the headlines, a former Port of Spain mayor weighs in on the current situation in the capital city. A call for the police commissioner to change his strategy approach following Tuesday's protests. Members of the creative arts to get relief grant for lost income. And internationally,
Texas governor mandates the wearing of face masks or face being fined.
And those were the morning's headlines, courtesy Green Dot Limited. Details of these stories coming up in our 7 a.m. news. I am Sharon Felix.
And I'm Jason Thomas.
Good morning.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.
Oh, Bacchanal.
The Titans of Democracy on the street. 919 FM.
All right, so Trinidad and Tobago, it's 6:05 a.m. Violence and destruction, not the way. Don't burn, don't harm. Protest peacefully. That was the message from Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to the protesting communities who over the last 2 days have been engaging in marches, burning debris, and blocking streets. The Prime Minister said he wouldn't encourage the protests, but he said it must be done without violence and destruction. He stressed that there was a big difference between the legitimate demand for justice and calling for revenge, stressing that there were organs of the state that were meant to ensure people get justice. He said the calling for immediate action for the killings of the 3 civilians in Mova last Saturday without evidence was to call for revenge as opposed to justice. I believe that all those persons who are calling for justice are completely correct, and I find common cause with them in that. Those who are demanding revenge, I warn against that approach, he said. He said it was disheartening to hear young people making videos in which they were speaking about eliminating police officers. The Prime Minister expressed condolences to the families of those killed by gunfire, a police officer, the 3 Mova residents, and a pregnant woman from the Beetham Gardens. He said members of the communities around the country had been expressing themselves in outrage, anger, sadness, and hope. The Prime Minister said the bigger problem was how much of this was fueled by emotion and how much was by prior agenda. I want to tell the national community that what we saw, the spontaneous and sporadic fires in the streets, the face-to-face responses to the police officer was organized, but that does not change the story. That we have firearms in communities to be used for a variety of purposes and armed police officers who are required to eliminate that. Stressing, however, that there was a difference between information and evidence. He said he trusts that somewhere along the way, the information would be turned into evidence. So for those who had a hand in organizing this, what they are contributing is a worsening to an already bad situation. And to them we say, run your run. Some of them are 2 by 4 politicians. Some of them are hardened criminals for whom crime does not pay, he said. Pressed on this issue, the Prime Minister said, what I can tell you is that in this situation and prior situations, there is evidence of persons with political ambitions associating with the criminal elements. He said he was very concerned that warring gangs were coming together, especially if they were identifying the police as a common enemy. The Prime Minister said the Police Complaints Authority, PCA, has the legal responsibility for investigations into alleged police misconduct but he expressed skepticism about the operation of the PCA in this regard. But I would be less than honest with you if I just tell you to leave it to the Police Complaints Authority, because I too, as a member of Parliament, having experienced this before as a citizen and wanting justice to be done, unfortunately, this has not been our experience, that we could just sit back and say, leave it to the PCA, and one day they will churn out a result. He said, it has not been functioning that way, and that loss or absence of confidence is there. He said the evidence surrounding all of this will be gathering and would determine who was responsible to be held accountable. He said if the evidence collected did not result in a clear determination of who is responsible, the next step of the process anticipated is a full coroner's inquest. Trinidad and Tobago, let me just stop right here. We have to go to the ads and we'll be back. Don't shift your dial.
They talk.
You talk. Come talk with us. On the street.
919 FM.
Get interactive with the street 919 FM.
All day, every day. See us all live on our Facebook page.
Share and comment on our show.
Like our page.
Chat with our live on-air announcers.
The Street 919's Facebook page.
Live and interactive all day, every day. The Street 919 FM.
Come talk with us.
What are you sleeping on? Did you know that you may be sleeping on dead skin cells, dust mites, and bodily fluids? Do you suffer with aches, pain, stiffness, and other sleep disorders? Studies show that you should replace your mattress every 7 to 10 years for better health, better support, and a better night's sleep. Visit a sleep center today at Quartz and find the perfect mattress for you. Quartz, bringing value home.
This is Wayne Delamore, Head Consultant and Director of Natural Health Solution. With over 15 years of experience in clinical nutrition and microscopy, we specialize in early detection and prevention. We incorporate evidence-based nutrition and science-driven analysis. Tune in to our educational program every Wednesday right here on the Street 91.9 FM. For appointments, call 222-2189 or 304-5816. At Natural Health Solutions, we offer a natural solution to healthy living.
Join Wayne Delamore on Wednesdays from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. right here on the Street 919. FM.
Sorry, faster speed is not in service.
4G LTE speeds not there for you? Port your number to B-Mobile's always on 4G LTE and try 30 days of free data, free WhatsApp, free talk, free text, free web browsing, and free roaming data. Check us online or in store.
Too much trouble in your TikTok? Switch to B-Mobile for always on 4G LTE. Get a free 30-day trial with free 25 gigabytes of data, free WhatsApp, free talk, free text, and more. Plus, get 50% off your next 3 months. Check us online or in store.
Breakfast set, go! Start with Milo, finish strong. Perform your best all day long. M-I-L-O, Milo. Breakfast set, go Milo. You want to raise a trophy, drinking Milo gets you ready. Fortify your mind and body. It starts with Milo. Start with Milo, finish strong. Perform your best all day long. M-I-L-O, Milo. Breakfast set, go Milo.
Start the day right with Milo. Fortified with Active Go for energy release and muscle function. Milo, the energy food drink of champions.
Yo, this is a Big Mike, not the mass man, the health man. Are you one of the 40 million people suffering with joint issues like rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis? Well, you are listening to the right ad. You have the ailment, we have the remedy. Call us now on 288-8301 or 346-2612.
Don't forget to tune in right here on the street 919 FM every Wednesday from 10:05 a.m.
Performance, beat all talk.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Masters Radio.
Here's your opportunity to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly and guests as they lead in worship ministries of the Word and Prayer. That's every Sunday at 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and every Wednesday from 9 p.m. to midnight on the street 919 FM, where we deal with today's issues from a biblical perspective. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. You'll be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Your life and family will never be the same. You are welcome to visit our website, www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org. Like us on Facebook. Your financial support will be greatly appreciated. Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank. You can contact us at 753-1113.
Unstoppable means nothing holding you back. True mobile freedom. No buffering in your binging. No pauses in your playlists. No lag in your live streams. More instant in your Instagram and more blazing in your browsing. Unstoppable means unlimited speed. Introducing TNT's biggest mobile data plans ever from B-Mobile. More data, more speed, and more value. And always on super fast 4G LTE all the time. Visit us online, in store, or call us on 824-8788 to level up your mobile plan today.
Better vision for your physical eyes, and through the eyes of faith, let healing arise in your mind, body, and spirit. At Natural Heal Ministries, we teach kingdom principles for living that brings the blessing of God to your mind, body, and soul.
NHM Professional Associates are located at number 10 Moody Stewart Street, Monrepos, San Fernando. For more info, contact Dr. Desmond Phillip at NHM on 349-3494.
NHM Professional Associates can be heard live on the street 919 FM every Saturday from 9:05 to 9:55 a.m.
Come talk with us.
Real issues, hard talk.
Real talk on the street 919 FM.
So Trinidad and Tobago and the world by extension, we're back. So continuing this story, Dr. Rowley noted, but I could say to the national community, What we have seen since Monday is the worst of what we are exposed to. There are many young people who have obtained firearms. He said, in a scenario of armed citizens and armed police officers who are required to suppress that criminality, to disarm such people, and in many instances, at the risk of their own lives. When those two situations come together, armed civilians encountering armed police officers, it is not unexpected that there will be outcomes of this nature. Today I'm appealing to the young people, the young and the not so young. When you take up arms for whatever reasons, you are automatically putting yourselves in harm's way with respect to law enforcement. Because the only response that the state would provide in that situation and in that moment is an armed contingent. It is not responsible to assume that the response would be unarmed police officers. It is not reasonable to assume that the response would be unarmed police officers, the Prime Minister said. He said, on the other hand, or the other side of the coin, the police officers have to respond within the law, and they too require justice, and they too must not seek revenge, he said. But before I go to the Hope for Crime spots, let me read this one. Residents of Mova Sealots, they will always profile us. Several Mova and Sealots residents declared yesterday that no matter what they did to uplift themselves educationally and otherwise, they would still be profiled negatively by police and the rest of society because of where they live. The Express visited these two communities yesterday afternoon following the announcement of a community recovery program and a team tasked with determining the way forward for at-risk communities by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. Christopher Roberts stood at the side of the Lady Young Road yesterday, holding a sign that read, Black Lives Matter, East Port of Spain Lives Matter. Asked about the Prime Minister's committee, Roberts said he heard part of his presentation, which he described as a pacifier. It will just start hot and sweaty, and then it would end. But as far as I am concerned, it is just cash injected to quiet the community that's showing distress, he said. Regarding the community, he said, out of those people, none of them don't know our communities. So this is just a quiet down and a buyout. I am not saying that this is wrong, you know. This is a good step. But this is not the only thing because at the end of the day, 4 unarmed people are dead, he said. Shania Duncan, a University of the West Indies student who was at Jumans Avenue yesterday, said, everyone here is afraid of the police. There are incidents of a lot of UE students living in the Mova area being stopped and interrogated by the police as we are still being profiled based on where one comes from. Her classmate who stood next to her quickly nodded her head in agreement. What more investigation all you want? Meanwhile, in Sealots, no one wanted to talk about the Prime Minister's recovery program and committee, but just about their interaction with the police. We had to do the riots in order for all you to understand, said one man who asked not to be named. Since Saturday, this thing happening, the shooting deaths of Joel Jacob, Noel Diamond, and Israel Clinton by police, and now it is more talk. We don't want talk, we want the whole jeep load of them to get fired, he said. Another man who appeared to be very angry said, I don't want more talk, but I want to know what more investigation all you want because everything on camera. Another man who, like the first two, didn't want to be named said, no more talk, it is the injustice we want to deal. It is the injustice we want to deal with. Because look where that incident brought all the gangs together as everybody put their differences aside. He said the setting up of the committee was a dance, and it does not make sense dancing the people around because our main issue in the injustice, in the unjust killing, because do these people really know what is going on in our areas. This whole uproar is because of Saturday's situation, and people see the law as unjust, as plenty of them people who protested had relatives who were killed too, he said. There's another story, Sealot's activists fed up of politicizing, and I am not going to read any story by Michelle Lubon. Not. I am saying this morning, I do not trust her writing. I do not trust it. Somewhere along the line, she twists the story. I'm not going to read her stories. And I made that very clear here. Because in the Marlene fiasco, you went and you wrote a story about something that Berkey said. That's what you said. And when we hear the shout, the man never tell you that. And to make matters worse, not that I'm defending anybody, you came to the office where I worked. You asked me a question and I told you I am not doing any interview with you, and I do not want to be named in any interview. And I told you to go and get the facts where you were supposed to get the facts. And instead of that, you put my name in a kind of story that you wrote without having any proper discussions with me. So I will not be reading any story. And you never apologize to me. I will not be reading any story, and I'm telling all you, be careful of this journalist. I will not read any story. I am sure of that. So Trinidad and Tobago, we have hope for crime hotspots. But let me say, before hope for the crime hotspots come into the communities, we have to also check ourselves and know exactly what we want. And I'm happy to see that Shabazz is one of the persons on that committee. Really, really happy to see that. And I'm hoping that him being there will make a whole lot of difference. Because let me say to Trinidad and Tobago, we're not doing anything good to ourselves. Anything. And yes, the two UWI students said, they're always targeted. And no matter what, that environmental feeling, it wouldn't go away. For instance, now I hear in all kind of story, so I know which one is true. One time we hear they rob the bread van, then we hear is that they put up, it's not, they formulate the story, they give away the bread. We hear all kind of thing. This morning, I want us to be honest to ourselves. And I want to say to us, I talking to my African people this morning again. If you all could come together for a common cause that you feel is a common cause, oh God, all you, come together to let us stop the violence. Let's stop the killing in our communities. Let's work together to clean up these areas in terms of setting the communities right. I real begging all you know. I listened to that young man yesterday. I told you coming down the road. That was an issue for me. Tears was in my eyes. Because at the end of the day, I know how people feel, and I am sure I'm a human being. I know the feeling. But this kind of behavior is not going to give you results. It's not. It is not. And I want to tell you, yes. And I want to say I'm not a hypocrite. I know there are rogue police officers and police officers that do wickedness to citizens of this country. I too faced that already. Because of wickedness. So I can tell you, I know some of you all what you're talking about. And my son faced that. And for nothing, you know. You mustn't talk, you mustn't ask no questions. But let me say to you, going after people who did nothing is not going to solve the situation. So you burn down the police, the WPC, her car. What did she do? What did she do? I am sure she didn't move in the area. I'm sure she's somebody known to you all, grew up in the area. You burned down the car. Why? You watching these police officers with guns in their hand and you're running into them. We have to be careful. So I am asking today, if it is that we prepare to work together, put down the guns, settle our differences, and work with a team so that we can bring back harmony, love, unity, and peace in our communities, where we can get more work done. Are we prepared to do that? We need to know what we want, you know. So we can't talk on this hand that we want this, and on the other hand, when it comes, the foolishness starts. You have to know what you want. That's why I say, there are some things in this life, I will never ever put myself involved in it to do it. And all I'm saying too, let us be mindful and careful of people using us for their own self-gains. Because most of the time, some people say, a man might tell him, boy, I gave you a little $2 million. I want to cause some disruption in the place. How you could help me with that? The man who gained the $2 million, all of you who going outside, they gain nothing, you know. We might get a little $500, a little $200, but he get the bulk of the money. And he put everything in place. You ain't get nothing. You might get locked up. You might lose your life. People, let us start to think before we act now. Not if, justice have to be served, whether or not we want it. So if the police officers did something illegal, the PCA is there to do their work. And we're hoping that the evidence, people have information and evidence, and well, you know, evidence, information is not evidence. So people who have the evidence, please come forward and go with it. But I also want to say, people who have evidence of the police officer who got killed also, you need to come forward with it. We want everything to be dealt with holistically. I don't know in what form or fashion to come here again and speak. We are all human beings with feelings. And we can sit down whole day, every day, and say, this community need this, it need that, it need the other. And when it has to come, there's an issue with it coming, or when it's there, there's an issue with it being there. Come on, Trinidad and Tobago. And the youths. You see, there's always somebody to rile up a situation. And let me tell you, I went in a particular place last Saturday with the high winds. And let me say again and praise the Self-Help Commission. Come. For a job well done. And today, the immediate results are going to be taking effect. Today, at the Mount Hope, Mount Lambert Community Center at 10 o'clock, we'll be having the distribution of the grants to persons who were affected. I went to a particular place, and it's because we got a call. I was there, and I was moving. I want to see for myself. A call was made. A call was made, so they went up to this particular area. A roof blew off, 2, 3, about 4 or 5 roofs blew off. Self-help do not work with tarpaulins and these things. If some people don't know, don't rile up people because you're not sure. Now, luckily, the people who were sitting, let me say good morning to all of them because I know some of them listen. There was a particular lady asking about the road. So I'm saying that so she would know I'm speaking to her and telling her good morning. And I listened to this gentleman telling them all kind of thing. And I stood there and I turned to him, I said, no, why are you misleading the people? Self-help don't work with tarpaulins. The ODPM is responsible for that. And that comes out of the corporation. So I'm saying to him, there's a vehicle out on the Lady Young, a ODPM vehicle. Apparently they were waiting on somebody else. So I don't know if they was waiting on the council or whatever to come up there, but and he carrying on. I listening to him. If the fellas there would have take that chain up, you know it would have been a different kettle of fish. The people were so happy to see that Self-Help responded so fast. And I'm sure some of them listening to us. One of them was so good, he took his vehicle and take us up because we had to carry up the camera crew were moving with the Self-Help. They parked their vehicle down and they took some of them up and so on. I want to say thanks to them. They were so helpful to their own persons in the community. Everybody were putting in a hand and helping. And they're instigating and telling the people, oh, they come here with the 2 hands swinging. All Self-Help can come with the forms. The CEO came out. And one of the officers and the driver, he came out himself and he went around to make sure and see and start to execute. Start up, we get you to fill your forms and so on and whatever. And I listened to this man and he was so upset that I said what I said because I stopped him in his track. You can't tell people these things if you're not, you see, we're not informed and we start to instigate misinformation in the public domain. So I had to take up my phone there and then, call to get a number for the counselor who was on her way coming, you know. So I had to call her and tell her, these people making an issue here, well, one particular person, they need to get a tarpaulin and whatever. And immediately, time I talking, she was on her way coming up the road. Now, if I wasn't there, and he carry on, because after when I started talking, now everybody realized, well, oh no, this is not. In their minds, they would have figured, this is a waste of time. And These are the things that we, come on, we need to do better than that, man. Find out who is responsible for what. Good morning to you, Wendell.
Yes, good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to all the listeners.
What's up?
So I see you're dealing with an issue with self-help and tapping. See, some people do not understand what self-help role is. I don't know, self-help is a
I didn't know
organization giving out tapping. I know self-help is in terms of emergency roof. I know there are assist communities in roads. If it have things that in dire of need, that is what self-help is put there for, but not to buy for a tapping for someone's house or a shed. I know they give grants with roof.
You get walls, not foundations. Yes. Not foundations.
And I know that they assist in helping people who with property damage by disaster.
Fire.
Yes.
Floods. I kind of confused. And that's the misinformation being spread there. And we continue to listen without we ourselves doing our own checks and balances to find out. And it wouldn't stop.
Let us people who just sending false claim, eh?
You telling me?
False claim.
You telling me?
And they just come to you to say that if you know someone, they'll say, I sent him a claim so long. And when you check some people property too, the property in good order. I remember some people want to build a drywall and if you see where they live and they want me to go to self-help to get the wall for them, to get the material. And when these people could not just say that they in their house in a state that it's going to fall along in the drain or some kind of thing, but there is some people want to put on extension and they want self-help to build the extension for them. And so these are the kind of problems you face on a day-to-day basis by a lot of people. A lot of people, they don't understand what is the role and the function of self-help. The feel self-help should take taxpayers' money.
You working,
and give it to you.
Listen, without a disaster, if a disaster is there, but you holding down a good job with a good salary that you could go to the bank and you want to go to self-help. If there's a disaster, that's a different thing. But you want to go to self-help to get. Come on. I see Scotland he's the PNM South candidate. Well, yesterday I said Hillen, I was back in Hillen until after I saw Scotland I know Scotland too.
Yes, I know him personally.
I know him personally, so I know, Well, I take him, good choice. People, be going to a break, we'll be back. Don't shift the dial.
Let's talk on the street. The official station that defends the nation. Get interactive with the Street 919 FM.
All day, every day. See us all live on our Facebook page.
Share and comment on our show.
Like our page.
Chat with our live on-air announcers.
The Street 919's Facebook page.
Live and interactive all day, every day. The Street 919 FM.
Come talk with us.
This is Pastor Charles from the Upper Room Ministry. Tune into the Street 91.9 FM every Wednesday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. for a time of prayer and intercession. I want you to know that we are going to have a TIME time in the presence of God, lifting up our nation, lifting up our families in prayer. I'm looking forward to, my God, for you to join with me. Praise God, every Wednesday, praise God, praying for our nation, praying for our families, praying for our children. Join with me every Wednesday at 12 midnight. Tune into the Street 91.9 FM. God bless you.
It's time to unfollow 2G speed. Switch to B-Mobile and enjoy always on 4G LTE. Get a free 30-day trial with 25 gigabyte data, free WhatsApp, free talk, free text, and more. Plus 50% off your next 3 months. Check us online or in store. Paying for 4G and getting 2G? Come test drive always on 4G LTE. Switch to B-Mobile and get a free 30-day trial with 25 gigabyte data, free WhatsApp, free talk, and more. Plus get 50% off your next 3 months. Check us online or in store.
Enagic change your water, change your life. Enagic water purifier, one machine, 5 types of water. Enagic makes strong Kangen water with an 11.5 pH. Kangen water with 8.5 to 9.5 pH, healthy drinking and cooking water. Clean water with 7.0 pH. Beauty water for skin, hair, and plants with a 6.0 pH. Strong acid water with a 2.5 pH. This water is known to disinfect, kill viruses and bacteria. Listen to the Street 919 FM with Pastor Alkaline John every Tuesday from 11:05 a.m. to noon and every Wednesday from 8:05 p.m. to 9 p.m. as he talks to you weekly about how to improve your quality of life through purifying and drinking water. For more information, call or WhatsApp Pastor John at 516-286-7079.
Every child is incredibly intelligent. Parents, reach higher. Be stronger. Join Olive Rest Clark, producer of the IBG line of educational products, right here every Thursday morning at 11:15. Get the genius out of the children. Hear how you can work with the IBG phonic program and see your children learn at least 200 times faster. Remember, IBG guarantees rapid progress for champions to turn this nation around. It's right here on 91.9 FM every Thursday morning at 11:15. For more info, call 336-3896 or 725-READ.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282. Or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
We know the street because we talk to the street.
Come talk with us on the Street 919 FM.
All right, so Trinidad and Tobago, we are back, and of course we have in our company Wendell Eversley, no stranger to my program, to the Street 919 FM. Wendell, what's going on? As we were talking before we went on the break.
Well, we see yesterday a lot of things developed too. We see the statement from a candidate concerning the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Listen now.
I was shocked to know that. And when you look at it, what he said, I look at it as a threat. Because as the Commissioner of Police had to respond to him, and then we see he comment sometime after and apologizing. But if you could take to your Facebook page and say something like that, and then after come to apologize, people in Tunapuna have to be very, very careful about this candidate that the UNC setting up. So that's why I always say, when you look at the people that the candidates are being offered to you all, everything with them, with UNC, something unethical about them. Or you could have a candidate, right, who going up for election. Suppose if he be candidate and they put him Minister of National Security. It come like when I watch the election in Guyana, we see where certain members of the PPP, they showed on television, right, sending threat to even the police officers, telling them, mark his face and take his name. And here, so what do you mean by that? Mark his face, take his name. That's what you're hearing coming out of Guyana. You're seeing it clearly in what was going on in Georgetown when they was entering the election commission office in Guyana. And here today now in Trinidad, we have a candidate, right, saying to the police service of Trinidad and Tobago, right, and he will not forget them. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? So this is the kind of language them sending. Are we seeing a bunch of people who are badgons, so that they're going into the government to threaten the independence of the police service, which should be free from all political operation. We heard recently the Commissioner of Police issue, right, statement or warning to his officers, right, that they cannot be involved in showing publicly any favorism to any political party. As a matter of fact, he said they should be staying out of the election, staying out of being involved in politics. And the police commissioner also must look at certain individuals who is police officers on Facebook, coming out and showing total support for the opposition, right? And even sending criticizing their own boss. Criticizing their own boss, right? And this police officer is on Facebook. He's on Facebook, and I have screenshots. I don't want to call his name here, but he's on Facebook. If you love your political party and you love your opposition leader, right, don't go on the police work. So at the time I asked him if that was the police service paying him for, if that was taking our taxpayers' money before he go to fight crime. He on Facebook, spending most of the time on Facebook. This is the kind of things we're seeing today in Trinidad and Tobago. People who are police officers. So if somebody who on Facebook, I just call him the Facebook police. Right? Because he on Facebook minding everybody's business, and when they say something about the opposition leader, he coming out and he jumping in and defending and then throwing it. And when they talk about the commissioner of police too, he coming in and saying things like he's a waste of time and all this. This is the kind of rubbish you're hearing from police officers, right? Saying about their boss. So when you have these kind of things, what you expect? You see discipline. That's why you see some, just how they operate at home, how they see the family, everything operate. They go into the workplace with the same attitude, the same conduct. And we have to watch and see carefully who we are going to vote for. We are in a situation now where we see the 2 days ago, we could have another 1990. We could have a bloodbath in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank God that the TTPS was on top of the game, the intelligence lead them to certain information, and they was able to call the what we call a riot, which would have been spread throughout certain places and certain communities, because it would have spread in communities that belongs to the government. It will be in their constituencies that belongs to a member of a parliament who will be the government. You see it spread throughout. And then after, people in their comfort zone would have been just quiet. And so we have to know that we had a 1990 here. We don't want to have a 1990 again. We have to get up. All parliamentarians, when they take an oath of office, is that they should put country first. Country first. And any parliamentarian or any senator getting involved and courting gang leaders and gangs, they shouldn't be in our parliament. And we must call on the Commissioner of Police, right, and the head of the National Security Council and the Minister of National Security to make sure that gangs leaders and the gang who there's always want to say I is the committee leader, go and tell the candidate, I could get his vote for you, I could bring out this set of people to vote for you, I could control this block for you, I could control and I could intimidate people.
But
and
wait,
fear.
Wait.
And
if,
fear.
If there's a rival situation, how are you coming out to vote?
But I don't know yet. You just see them and they just put them. And mark my word, they intend to put these people in constituencies like Sawa Bataria, St. Joseph, Tunapuna, San Fernando West, Pointe-à-Pierre, right? Moruga Tibulan, right? They intend to put these so-called leaders, and say there's leaders, right? And to go and intimidate people. And we have to be on the TTPS, have to be on the lookout for these things. We must not have no interference by gang, and say there's gang leaders and working with certain candidates. And after that, because when they go to bed with these people, it's hell break loose after, Hell break loose. And we have to make sure that these things didn't happen. Because this election coming up here is a serious election, Everything they try failing. You see, this operation, whoever they work with, it failed. So are we going to see what's going to happen? Are we going to see disruption on election day? Because election day is a very important day. We shouldn't have nobody intimidating anybody or preventing anybody to go and cast their vote. That is what they are feeling to do. And no party should be hiring no leaders.
Wendell, it was done in 2010. It was done in 2010 in Chaguanas East.
People mustn't forget also in 2000.
I am sure people listening to us from that constituency can
the first time UNC won an election in 2000. People mustn't forget what took place in 2002. People must not forget that. Not in 2000, 2001. Because in 2000 was in 1717 too. And people mustn't forget what took place in every time we ever see it. Anytime we cannot have, for the past, from 2000 to now, we cannot have an election without interference of people who say they're gang leaders. We cannot.
All right, so Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to the ads, and we have about a minute. I'm going to come back to go straight to the news at 7. Don't shift your dial. We'll be right back.
The streets, because we talk to the streets.
Come talk with us on the Street 919 FM.
Get interactive with the Street 919 FM.
All day, every day. See us all live on our Facebook page.
Share and comment on our show.
Like our page.
Chat with our live on-air announcers.
The Street 919's Facebook page.
Live and interactive all day, every day. The Street 919 FM.
Come talk with us.
Hey guys, it's Aisha Wells here. Listen up. If you're considering selling or renting your house in Trinidad and Tobago, then call Keelan George with O'Neill's Real Estate Group. He's a good friend of mine and he's been in the business for over 6 years. First, selling real estate in Atlanta, Georgia, and now right here in Trinidad and Tobago. He has a strategic online marketing presence that actually attracts thousands of home buyers and renters. Plus, with his home selling advice and techniques, he's getting homes sold really fast. Keelan will actually guarantee you sell your home, or get this, you can cancel the listing agreement and pay nothing at any time. That's right, you heard me, nothing at any time. Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, people. Check out www.o'neillrealestatetT.com. O'Neill is spelled O-N-E-I-L, or just call Keelan direct at 363-4030. That's 363-4030.
The Ranch at C3 Center and Trinity Mall is back to serve you with the best barbecue in the East and South. Original sauces and value for money. Opening hours Monday to Saturdays 10 a.m. Closing 8 p.m. at C3 Center and 9 p.m. at Trinity Mall. Sundays 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your barbecue chicken, lamb, fish, burgers, jerk chicken, chili wings, and a wide variety of sides to choose from. Check us out, The Ranch.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Happy Hour is back at Jenny's on the Boulevard. This time, we're not offering 10%, but 30% off drinks. Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Get 30% off beers, Carib, Stag, Caribbean, Guinness, and Heineken. 30% off rum, White Oak, Black Label, Absolute Vodka, and Blue Vodka. 30% off cocktails, margaritas, mojitos, Jenny's Long Island Iced Tea, and daiquiris. Also enjoy 10% discount every Friday and Saturday on sushi. And guess what? Our COVID specials remain. Ask for specials on takeout. Specials include 12% off all government ministry orders, 20% off desserts. Choose from our famous Chinese-style express buffet, the American menu, burgers, ribs, and more. Italian menu, pasta, and more. Feel like dining? Our in-house dining is back. Visit Jenny's on the Boulevard today. And do not forget to ask for specials. Opening daily between the hours of 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Call us today at 625-1807, 395-3757, or 488-8800. Jenny's on the Boulevard for all your Chinese, American, and Italian needs.
Come talk with us. Realest News, Hard Talk, Real Talk on the Street, 919 FM.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we're getting ready for the news at 7. So I would ask you to stay with us. Do not shift your dial. We'll be back after the news at 7. Sponsored by B-Mobile. Life is on.
Let's talk on the street. The official station that defends the nation.
Paying for 4G and getting 2G? Come test drive Always On 4G LTE. Switch to B-Mobile and get a free 30-day trial with 25 gigabyte data, free WhatsApp, free talk, and more. Plus, get 50% off your next 3 months. Check us online or in store.
News from the street, 919fm.com. Here's what's happening.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I am Sharon Felix.
And I am Jason Thomas.
And this is our 7 a.m. major newscast brought to you courtesy B-Mobile. Life is on. In the headlines, a former Port of Spain mayor weighs in on the current situation in the capital city. A call for the public a call for the police commissioner to change his strategy approach following Tuesday's protests. Member of the Creative Arts to get a relief grant for lost income. And internationally,
Texas governor mandates the wearing of face masks for all face being fined.
And now for the details. Former Port of Spain Mayor Louis Lee Singh is concerned over the recent protests in and around Port of Spain. He has cautioned that the joining together of rival gangs against the police was not good for Trinidad and Tobago. Lee Singh warns that this development will ultimately create much more challenges for the state. He predicts that there is more protest to come and it's going to be worse than before. The former mayor says the country is coming to a climax of decades of a lack of representation and neglect. He states that it's time politicians are held accountable. He blames past and current governments for the chaos that is happening today. In other news, former head of the National Operations Center Commander Garvin Hira says following the police response to widespread protests on Tuesday, Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith needs to implement a critical crisis communication plan and change his strategy approach. Hira says from what he saw during the recent protests, it was clear that the police did not change its strategy and tactics to properly control and manage a crisis. He says he personally felt that the police moved a little too slow in the mobilization of forces to quell the unrest. He also questioned where was the critical crisis communication plan by the police service. Hira believes that the country's law enforcement and armed forces were unprepared for what happened this week. He is advising Commissioner Griffith to review his critical crisis approach. Furthermore, the Ministry of Community Development and the Arts in a release said Cabinet has approved a one-time payment of $5,000 for artists and other creatives to offset income loss due to COVID-19 restrictions. To further assist artists and creatives, the release said rental cost of the National Performance Space under the remit of the Ministry of Community Development, Culture and the Arts will be reduced by 50% until December 2020. Cultural relief grant application forms will be available nationwide from next week. Further information will be made available to the public on where these can be accessed. The list of supporting documents required for application will be posted on the ministry's website and Facebook page. And now for a look at international news with Jason Thomas.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has offered face coverings to be worn in public as coronavirus cases rocket in the state. After an initial warning, those who refuse will face a fine of up to $250. The directive applies to counties with 20 or more COVID-19 cases, which covers most of Texas' 254 counties. Texas hit a record of more than 8,000 virus cases in a day on Wednesday, up from about 2,400 2 weeks ago. And that was a look at our international news for this morning.
Thank you, Jason Thomas. And now for a look at the weather. For the period today until midnight, Trinidad and Tobago and the remainder of the Lesser Antilles, partly cloudy morning with isolated showers will give way to a mainly hazy and breezy day. There is the low chance of the heavy shower, isolated thunderstorm, mainly in southern parts of Trinidad. Gusty winds, street and flash flooding can occur in areas under heavy showers and thunderstorms. There is a moderate concentration of Saharan dust in the atmosphere. Sensitive persons advised to exercise caution. Seas moderate, waves up to 2 meters in open waters, less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. It is currently 33 degrees Celsius in Piarco and 32 degrees Celsius in Crown Point. And just to recap our headlines, a former Port of Spain mayor weighs in on the current situation in the capital city. A call for the police commissioner to change his strategy approach following Tuesday's protests. Members of the Creative Arts to get relief grant for lost income. And internationally,
Texas governor mandates the wearing of face masks or face being fined.
is heard on 7 a.m. on the Street 919 FM, online at Street 919 FM. Brought to you courtesy B-Mobile. Life is on. Stay tuned for Tobago News at 9. I am Sharon Felix.
And I'm Jason Thomas.
Do have a wonderful day.
Paying for 4G and getting 2G? Come test drive Always On 4G LTE. Switch to B-Mobile and get a free 30-day trial with 25 gigabyte data, free WhatsApp, free talk, and more. Plus, get 50% off your next 3 months. Check us online or in store.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we are back. And of course, Mohammed's Bookstore, you can check out our specials on textbooks, stationery, school supplies, school uniform, children's storybooks, puzzle of all sizes, and many more. You can query your book list and get an email when your books arrive. Bring Mohammed's Bookstore closer to you, as everything is now at your fingertips, as you can log on to our website on www.mohammedsbookstore.com. We have 5 locations nationwide. Areas include Tunapuna, San Fernando, West Moorings, Gulfview, and Port of Spain. Opening hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. to Saturday, and 8 a.m. to 12 noon on a Sunday. Call us today at our Tunapuna branch on 647-7355, San Fernando branch 657-1012, West Moorings branch 637-6551, Gulfview branch 657-9613, Port of Spain branch 627-3341. Like our page and follow us on our Facebook, Mohammed's Bookstore, and Instagram at Mohammed's Bookstore. So don't forget, get your books at Mohammed's Bookstore. Technology just went a step further with the Global Galaxy app. The Global Galaxy app shows you where the hotspots are when looking for a good time, good food, or a place to stay. See menus, reviews, specials, or restaurants, hotel, boat rides, plus get live projection on the amount of people in a specific club and more. Plus, you can just install the app and check into participating outlets anonymously to get quantitative live info so you know where to go. Download the Global Galaxy app today on Android and iOS devices. Technology is making advancement with the Global Galaxy app where all the hotspots are a click away. And of course, Eastern Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited will like to advise its members of the following change of office hours for all branches: Sandy Grande, Arima, Tunapuna, St. Joseph, Port of Spain, Shagona, San Fernando, and Tobago. Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Friday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and we open at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Please note that the Bataria branch remains closed at this time in adherence with social distancing protocol. We apologize for any inconvenience caused and encourage members to utilize call center online access by downloading our mobile app from Google Play Store for Android or iTunes for Apple users and our ATM link service, which are all available to maintain ample social distancing during this time. Flamboyant is now back to serve you next to 3J's Supermarket on Monroe Road, 2 minutes from the highway. Get your tasty roti with home-style curry crab and dumplings, bacon shark, and so much more. Call to order 223-5200. And of course, Iowa Stage, a series of virtual concert is on again. And this week lineup, Thursday, that was last night, that's gone. Pan night with Johan Chakuri, that was excellent. Tonight, Friday, 3rd July, Calypso night. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., 1 hour for Lord Kitchener music, followed by Sugar Aloes. So you got to tune in tonight. Saturday, 4th of July, Snakey and Trisha Hamilton. Sunday, 5th of July, Comedy Cook-Up. Iowa Stage will be streaming live from Instagram at Iowa George and The Street 919 FM. Facebook, Neil Iowa George and The Street 919 FM. YouTube, Iowa George and Street Online Trinidad. This concert is free, but if you wish to make a donation to our guest, you are free to do so on fundmetnt.com. Don't forget to tune in and be a part of these dynamic series of concerts. Iowa Stage one-on-one with the artists, supported by Tuco, taking care of business through our music. Pantry and Bagel, U Store, Lady Hills Avenue in San Fernando. And of course, if you're looking for a good meal, check out the ranch at C3 Center and Trin City Mall. They are back to serve you barbecue chicken, lamb, fish, burger, jerk chicken, chili wings, and a wide variety of sides to choose from. Opening hours Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's C3 Center. Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Trin City Mall. And Sundays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
What is noise about? Landlord, if you want to know.
Cockroach in my petticoat. All right, so Trinidad and Tobago, it's 7-11 and we're here still. And of course, my boy, my real friend, my political friend and family, Wendell Eversey. I ain't telling you nothing again. I ain't pushing you again. I ain't telling you nothing. I done. I park in neutral. I done with that.
You can't park in neutral.
Don't park in neutral.
Don't park in
Still
neutral.
push you?
Don't park, yes.
Still push
you have to do what God tell you to do. You have to do what God tell you to do.
God tell me to push you.
Right, and keep pushing.
All right, I'm going to push that.
Right. Because when you see you're going to, when a pastor going to baptize somebody and then keep a crusade, you just have to go right through until you make the altar call. And when you make the altar call,
make the altar call, yeah.
When you make the altar call, it just touch members in the audience, right? And they just get up and move, and then they just go and sign up a document, a slip, and they just go down either Carnage or in the river, and they just baptize them. And when they baptize them, now they just become a member.
Right.
So
I almost there.
Keep your altar call.
All right. My altar call is moving. But Trinidad and Tobago, on a serious note, if we don't change the way we do things in this country, and not just country, in the world, we will always have people who feel that they know best. And let me tell you something, there are some people inciting the bacchanal. But I want to tell them, when they see turn against them, do not complain, When it turns, do not complain. Right. Because I can tell you, despite what we read this morning about, what was the story I read, Bruce?
With the, oh gosh.
Oh, they will always profile us. Right? Let me play this for you. And I can tell you right here on this program, this morning program, Juliet was here with me. I remember us bringing in persons from Laventille. You can't remember that? There was a girl from the Beatum. I and her mother know one another real good. She got a scholarship. Right? There was another fellow. Then the last person we had was a gentleman who got a scholarship to go to some university, and he needed to get some money. And he came here, and we some people donated, but he called me long after, and he told me a gentleman sponsored the whole thing for him. I remember that. So I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago, not everybody will get profiled. And there are a lot of good people and youths in the Laventille area. Trust me.
Week around the country, and while tensions remain high in some areas, in the midst of everything, there is still some good news to deliver. The Laventille community has a success story. A 19-year-old young lady has been accepted into Google's International Science Program. Crystal Wilson tells us for her, it's a dream come true, but she needs some assistance to sign off on the offer.
Queena Alexander is 19 years old and already has a clear vision of what she wants to achieve for herself in terms of her education and career. The upper sixth form student who hails from the Laventille area has her eyes set on becoming a computer scientist with specific focus on cybersecurity. She says this field is not in demand in this country and wants more than anything to make the most of an opportunity that has recently presented itself. Aquina, who is a student of St. Joseph's Convent, Port of Spain, told us it was a school friend who encouraged her to apply for an international program offered by search engine Google.
At first, actually, I was on a waiting list, so that gives you an anxiety because you're wondering, okay, they put me on a waiting list. Does this mean that, am I going to get, am I good enough, all these type of thoughts. And then like a few days later, they were like, congratulations, you have been accepted. We can't wait to see you. And they've been keeping in contact since then.
Her success doesn't end there. One of the requirements to enroll in the program is that she must attend college either in the U.S. or Canada when the program is complete. College applications have landed her an acceptance from St. John's University in New York. She's expected to begin classes online come September with a partial scholarship. Spilling over with excitement, Aquina shared that she needs to first make a down payment to secure her spot at school. That's $5,000, part payment of her U.S. $30,000 tuition fees. If this doesn't register by July 22nd, both the Google program and international college opportunity will remain only just a dream.
I know this is not my dream alone, as in my education is not mine alone. My education is a chance to not only improve my life, but so many other people in Trinidad and Tobago. We have so many young girls who are so talented, who want to learn so much in computer science, and they just don't have the opportunity.
When all is said and done with school and securing her sound education, Aquina said it's her dream to make a difference in her Laventille hometown one day. Proud of where she's come from, she sees a better life for the children, especially the young girls of her area.
But I have never been ashamed of growing up in Laventille, as a child. I know a lot of people see the negative side of it, but growing up, I saw the community aspect of it, being able to go over to your neighbors and just say hi when it's religious celebrations, having your neighbors, send stuff for you.
As an already successful young lady, she says she's faced her fair share of discrimination. Sharing her story brought her to tears, her only wish following that bitter incident for young ladies like herself to be treated with equality and respect.
At that point, I decided that, maybe to make a difference, I need to go bigger. maybe I need to go out there, I need to do something extraordinary so that people could see that girls could do it too. Girls from Laventille behind the bridge, we could do it too.
A GoFundMe account has been set up to help Aquina get to St. John's University. Contributions can also be made to account number 251-0558 at First Citizens Bank. Crystal Wilson, TTT News.
What do you think of that? That's not a good bit of news?
That is more than good news.
I wonder if...
Sparrow sing a song called Children Go to School and Learn. How important education is. And when you see people coming out from these areas, it shows you the quality, right, of when it comes to education and these hard-pressed areas where they say it's hotspot areas. They like to give it a stigma, say it's hotspot areas, because a few people in the area who live in the community, right, because they giving the community a bad name, and they feel it's the whole community must remain with a stigma. Because if you all can remember Laventille, going up Laventille Hill, going up by Desperado, Panyard, Pan Theatre, a lot of tourists used to come and go up to the hills of Laventille. And when you go up there, especially in the night, I remember going and listening to Desper's play because the pride of Laventille. And when you see the view, and you see all over Trinidad from on top of the hill, you see a very, very beautiful sight. And it's sad to see though that the pride of Laventille, which is Desper's, and when you know the kind of talent came out from Laventille, right? And we know that people saying that the Laventille, what Laventille used to be, is no more. But I think if the people stand up to those who want to make give the community a bad name, stand up towards them, Laventille could be one of the beautiful sites when it comes to tourist attraction. Because when you go up on that hill and you look over Trinidad, you see every single thing, and it's so beautiful. It's so a beautiful sight to see. So when you go, I remember going up by the church, and you go up by the big is the water tank, right? And taking people when you go up there a long time, Sharon, you see a lot of people, tourists, who came to Trinidad for Carnival and all this. They used to see cars, people actually making money. And when you go by Despas and you're listening to the song of the steel pan music, and you're hearing the hummingbird, the bee song, and you're enjoying yourself, right? And then you can have people who selling at night, because you have people, you have traffic too, traffic going up there. So now we see that the pride of Laventille, the Despas Panyard, had to be in Port of Spain now. And thank God they get a home. But I would like to see them go back up to the original site, where they really belong, where they used to bring the joy. And then after it have at the foot of Laventille, people must remember Carib Tokyo, right? Well, top of the line Panyard, that Carib Tokyo, well. When the gate's still there, right? When the gates attract a lot of people too when they come to them. And all this is in Laventille. And look at the top steel band. They used to be competent for one another, right? To know who will be. Now we know that Despas now on away with the record. They are the most among the Panorama win. And they show you what Laventille bring out. And when you listen to if you ever go by where the gates Panyard, they have a school for young children. For young children. And when I go and I talk to them and you listen to the captain who in charge of them and discipline, and when you sit down and you listen to some of these guys give you history, right? The older folks, the elders, they give you history about the renegades. And when you go in, you see the inside of the Panyard, you see a place where they give you all the history of renegades, right? From all the winnings, it tell you everything where they start up from, where they come from to where they is today. And when you get the history of the Spaniard, and you know what come out from Port of Spain, and Port of Spain, the Laventille area, when you look at the different MPs come out, then you look at the different sportsmen come out from Laventille, when you look at these different Calypsonians, right? It's plenty. It's a joy. And now you can see this 19-year-old girl who's so happy, right? And she said this is not only for her alone, right? She said this is
we have to find
others.
And
yes.
Look the areas they show me is right around
and I wish the callers would, because your program is a big program, and when it comes to donation, you can't stop the titans of democracy, right? When it comes to donation and helping people, and I sure callers will call in and want to contribute and help this girl. And I think you should bring this girl on your program.
That's what
I think you should bring on your program and let her know. Let the because there are people who listening, there are people who know her. Right, and you should bring on your program because she need help and she need the stepping stone, right? And we should come out and give her that support. Give her that support so she could achieve she goal. Who knows? After she could come back here and she will be one who open up a school and teaching, right, in computer science.
All right, guys, I was just informed we're going till 8 because the Prime Minister's speech has to come up from 8 o'clock. So it's...
Obituary and 7:40.
Right, so we head into the ads right now. And when we come back, we're going to open the lines and take your calls. And that should take us down to 8 o'clock. All right? So Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, well, we could take a call or two. I have 2 minutes and something. I can take a call or two, you know. Call me up, guys. It's Friday. This is a different Friday. No Bacchanal Friday. We're trying to talk to people. We need the right things to be done. All right, no profiling. Paula, good morning.
Morning, Sharon.
Morning, Mommy Sauce.
Good morning.
Morning.
Trinidad and Tobago, have a good weekend, everybody. And that is why with young people like, what is her name?
Aquina,
Kareem, and others, the people who live in these areas supposed to be proud of them and let these people to hold up their head.
Thank you.
You understand? Because when you have people like Kareem and them coming out morning to you, Sherma, these people, young people living in the area and have such high hopes. And the elder than them, the elderly, when I say not that elderly, but you know what I mean? They coming out and putting a stain, some of them on the area and doing stupid, all kind of things. This is what all they need to do. Look at these people, these young people, and see all they're going through and try all their best and let's hold all their heads so that these people can help them to hold their heads high too. All right? And when you don't wait till we win the election, there's Bacchanal Friday. Don't wait till we win to that player want to join it. My God.
Mano, talk to me quick, some seconds.
Morning, Wendell.
Morning
to everybody playing the Tobago. Well, Wendell, you know, a good thing, Laventille up behind the church up there, but right there from, you know.
You're from up there?
I could see, you could see Piaco, you could see Then you could see Queen's Park, Savannah, you could see down Chagaramas, you could see right down to that. Love to Trinidad and Tobago from Desperados. I could afford to say that as a boss there, born in Desperados yard. Listen to the Tobago, all your Laventille people, cool all yourself, do something good, sit down and think about the Prime Minister say, and get going from there. I'm going to love the Trinidad and Tobago. Okay.
Thank you very much, please. Guys, we're going to the break. We'll be back. When we come back, we're taking more of your calls.
Mona, calm down. We just need to prepare. We must stock batteries and candles and charge our emergency lights in case we lose power.
That means we have to arrange a backup supply for Daddy Respirator.
Yes, and before the storm hits, we must unplug all our electrical equipment. If we need to evacuate, remember to shut off the electricity at the main panel.
Yes, because you know here does flood. Come. Let us move the appliances upstairs. Come.
Us, okay.
Wait! Then sit down! unplug them thing with your wet hand, yourself.
Yes, Mona.
This hurricane season, when preparing for an emergency, don't forget your electricity. TNTech, the power to make it work.
Looking for real data freedom? Bring your number and enjoy the best of 4G LTE on B-Mobile. Get a free 30-day trial with free data, free WhatsApp, free talk, free text, and more. Plus, get 50% off your next 3 months. Check us online or in-store. Unlimited 4G LTE speed on the other network? Fake news. B-Mobile is the real deal for 4G LTE. Switch now and get a 30-day free trial packed with 25 gigabytes of data, free WhatsApp, free talk, free text, and more. Check us online or in-store.
Mohammed's Bookstore Associates Limited with branches at Gulfview, Link Road, High Street, San Fernando, number 26 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna, Henry Street in Port of Spain, and West Mall, West Mooring. At Mohammed's Bookstore, you can check out our specials on textbooks, stationery, school supplies, school uniforms, children's storybooks, puzzles of all sizes, and many more. You can query your book list and get an email when your books arrive. New titles for SEA students, developing critical thinking for SEA math pupils books and solution teachers books. Right on point. Creative Writing SEA by Alicia McLean. Creative Writing Simplified for upper primary and Language Arts Simplified for upper primary. Lots of SEA practice books for sale for 1/3 of the retail price. Others are much less. Bring Mohammed's Bookstore closer to you as everything now is at your fingertips as you can log on to our website on www.mohammedsbookstore.com. Opening hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Fridays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays, and 8 a.m. to noon on Sunday. Call us today at our Tunapuna branch at 647-7355, our San Fernando branch at 657-1012, our West Moorings branch at 637-6551, our Gulfview branch at 657-9613, and our Port of Spain branch at 627-3341. Like and follow our page on Facebook at Mohammed's Bookstore and on Instagram at Mohammed's Bookstore.
Technology just went a step further with Global Galaxy app. The Global Galaxy app shows you where the hotspots are when looking for a good time. Looking for something new? This app is going to resolve all that for you. It allows you to see a live projection of the amount of people in a specific club, restaurant, hotel, boat ride, and more. Showing you menus, reviews, specials, and much more. Global Galaxy is worldwide and allows business owners to upload their content, videos, memes, and menus. Global Galaxy app is also a very good marketing strategy to allow more traffic in your establishment and is available free for both Android and iOS devices. So, any user that downloads this app sees all participating restaurants, hotels, boat rides, and wherever you would like to go. Business owners just have to log in at our website, www.globalgalaxy.com, and register on the website. And you would have an admin section where you would be able to manage the visual of those who would be using the app. As long as you install the app and check into a participating outlet, gives you a prompt to check in anonymously. So please don't be alarmed. You would not be informed of whom would be at the establishment. It just gives you a quantitative live feed so that you would know exactly where you would like to go and how many people are there. Download the app today. Global Galaxy app available for both Android and iOS devices. When it comes to healthcare, you deserve the best. Do you suffer from low energy, anxiety, or constipation? Health and Wealth Lifestyle with Nicole Huggins provides you with the best services of iridology exam, blood analysis, ionic foot detox, followed by a soothing foot massage. We also provide the best organic supplements. We are located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Or call us at 288-1108 or 275-8359. Join us on the Street 919 FM. Every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Health and Wealth Lifestyle with Nicole Huggins.
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy.
Wow.
Here at O'Neill Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud.
Wow.
Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals, Tobago, taking you further.
Hi there, I'm Lester Sublal, inviting you to join me on the first, second, and third Saturday, 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the program Slow Gospel Music, and on the fourth and fifth Saturday from 8:30 p.m. for an extended version of Slow Gospel Music on Street 91.9 FM.
Unstoppable means nothing holding you back. True mobile freedom. No buffering in your binging. No pauses in your playlists. No lag in your live streams. More instant in your Instagram and more blazing in your browsing. Unstoppable means unlimited speed. Introducing TNT's biggest mobile data plans ever from B-Mobile. More data, more speed, and more value. And always on super fast 4G LTE all the time. Visit us online, in-store, or call us on 824-8788 to level up your mobile plan today.
We know the street because we talk to the street.
Come talk with us on the Street 919 FM.
I thought I saw my pussycat crossing Charlotte Street. I couldn't scare whether it was the right pussy I need. But just as I was making sure, up came a young lady. Mister, what you looking for? That pussy belongs to me. It's my pussy, he said. It's my pussy, he said. It's my...
All right, so we are back. Just remember, tonight is Kaiso. 1 hour for Lord Kitchener from 7 to 8, and then we have Sugar Aloes.
Don't touch me, pussy.
So, guys, we're going to do our obituary right now. And when we come back, we're going to take your calls. We're going to open up the lines and take calls until 8 o'clock because we're going till 8 today. Yeah?
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The Street919FM.com.
The Street 919 FM has been asked to announce the passing of Helen Babulal, a.k.a. Dulcie of Soyo Trace, Granville Village, Cedros, who departed this life at the age of 58 years on Tuesday, the 30th of June 2020, at the San Fernando General Hospital. She will be lovingly remembered as the daughter of the late Jacob and Stella Janki Prasad, wife of the late Ralph Babulal, mother of Avina Cassie, Vinish Vinny, Antonio, Ashley, Tristan, and Rossi, grandmother of Maya and Jaden, sister of Mireen, Rohan, Cinti, Terry, Winston, Jessica, Christine, Eleanor, deceased, and Junior, niece of Lynette, Marjorie, Vera, Mary, and many others, aunt of many, cousin of many, in-law of the Babulal family, sister-in-law of many, mother-in-law of Bobby and Vimla, relative of the Janki Prasad and Sumasar Rai families, friend and sister of many. The funeral service for the late Helen Babulal, a.k.a. Dulcie, will take place on Friday, the 3rd of July, 2020 at 2 p.m. at House of Mourning 23, Saifo Trace, Granville Village, Cedros, thence to the Saifo Public Cemetery. Inquiries can be made at Elite Funeral Homes Limited at 648-3462.
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The Street919FM.com.
The Titans of Democracy on the Street 919 FM.
All right, so Trinidad and Tobago, we are back, and let me see. I have good news. Wendell, when we come here, it's for progress, I have good news, and I need somebody to find me a queener. I know it's somewhere to the back there by somewhere around where I was working there. Margaret Alexander, I know you're listening. I'm giving you a job to find who is a queener for me. And anybody listening this morning can find a queener and get a number for her for me, please. A very good friend of the Titans of Democracy just said to me, we would like that young lady to open a U.S. account, and she's going to put in 1,000 US into that account. So we need to find a queener, and we need to speak with her. Yeah. So somebody listening, I'm sure we have a lot of listenership out there in on the back there, in Laventille, in Piccadilly Street and all around there. Anybody who knows a queener, can you please get in contact with, ask her to get in contact with me, 7264685, and we have a donation ready for her. But I need to give her the instructions as to how she do it, so that the person herself will put it into the U.S. account and start it like that, because you're looking for U.S.
Yes, because she had to get 5,000 by the 22nd.
So she has 1,000 US already
in the account.
It will be placed into the
account. So
account.
that's why you see your program internationally, right? And people listen and they come out and they contribute to the cause.
And Massachusetts is waiting patiently. He has his contribution that he wants to send.
Right.
So I'm asking kindly anybody out there who can give us a number for a queener, please do so, to let her know that she already has 1,000 US to collect into that US account. I will give her the guidance as to how to do it. I was told. Caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Caller, can you load down your radio, please?
It's down.
Right.
Okay.
Good morning.
Sorry. Good morning. I'm from the Beetham area. I no longer lives there, but my mom still lives there. And I could tell you, somebody's successor, because some of them that stay on the block, I want to tell you bad news and give you a bad image. In the street where she lives, there's a lady who have a successful babysitting place running for years. It have a shop that sells any and everything. Not too far off next door to my mother, have a guy who does fix washing machines and other small appliances. Next to her, the lady brother was an uncle. The lady brother was their uncle was a doctor. He's still a doctor. He still come and visit them and drop things for them. Higher up the road, there's a guy who does welding and he gets big welding contracts. When he's not working, he just transport furniture and stuff to the furniture stores. And not too far from there in the back, they have a bakery. When you walk by the corner, you could buy doubles. It have a woman who does sell her market stuff. It have people who does sell clothes. It have big shops like mini marts. It have people who does do the hairdressing and the nails. It also have a guy who living by the corner, not too far off. His 2 sons are doctors. I know a woman with about 9 children, and most of them get scholarships and studying abroad. The Beetham have a lot to offer. There's a pocket of few who feel that they could stay on the block, tax you, pull gun, and do wrongdoing. And the people and them just live in so much fear that they can't say nothing. Also, I want Dr. Rowley to know there are people too get murdered or get intimidated, and people moving in their house and they have to move out and rent. There's a nasty thing going on in Laventille with people in Virginia. There are a lot of people, and you see that Piccadilly Street. I have cousins around that side, and they are also successful, working good jobs. There are a lot of people. I went in the bank and I met people from Laventille. We have a lot to offer. We have a lot to offer. Or let us work with Dr. Rowley. Please, let us work with Dr. Rowley. I don't hear any opposition. And it's too late. Or they don't let them pump no money into us now. Don't let them give us no guns and no drugs. Look at the woman. Nothing else is a mother's love. 5 children gone. Any chick give you debt and jail. Who in jail? Who ain't not in jail from Monday? Who get the debt? Come on now, there. We have bigger things to do. Much.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much, caller. All right, guys, so I think we got a number for Queen. Tell all the people all over here. Thank you very much, my dear.
Good morning, Sharon.
Morning.
How are you?
I am good, I am good.
Bruce, morning.
Bruce here, but we're trying to get a call in.
So, you know, I'm listening, I hear they have a new rhetoric now. It has gone from Black Lives Matter to Criminal Lives Matter. That is when the talk shift. So I'm wondering if that was your original talk and they just try to disguise it and camouflage saying Black Lives Matter. Sharon, listen, let me tell you something. I listened to the people's story about, the PLM don't care about black people and they never help black people. So I want those people who carrying that rhetoric to explain to me how do they rationalize Camille Robinson Regis? How do they rationalize Mr. Hines? How do they rationalize Dr. Rowley himself? And so, Sharon, those people are Syrian. The Indian, the Chinese. I didn't know that. Well, I know they say his name Rowley, but I didn't know he's a Chinese. He's another Lee. So people only think of the stupidness white is all you want to carry forth now. Really listen to the foolishness that you are trying to carry forth and make it sound like it is real. If it was so, then you wouldn't have any black leaders in the country. If you have no black people nowhere, pay attention to what they are feeding you. It is poison in sponge cake. Do not eat it because it will poison everything. Your whole system. You all have been doing the same thing for years. Nothing has changed. Well, try something different now. We have somebody coming to tell you, listen, we are doing this for you, we're doing this for you, we're doing that for you. As if that you're so accustomed to living in a certain way, to doing things in a certain way, you refuse to change for the betterment of your future, your family, everything. Is that the problem? I know change is a scary thing, but come on, it's your future you were speaking about. So try and listen. Somebody came and already complaining on the radio that, all the plans for Dr. Rowley say that thing go work. Oh, she's an angel, it didn't even get off the ground. He says since 2016 they have things in place to try and help disenfranchised youth. How many of you all are taking it? You didn't want to hear about it, you didn't care about it, and then you want to complain and say they ain't doing nothing for you. What you really want? You want to lie down and sit down and get money free. Well, newsflash, nothing in life is free.
All right, Roberto.
You have something is you have to sacrifice.
Thank you very much, Roberto. Thank you so kindly. Aquina. Aquina, you there?
Yes.
You hearing me good?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. After talking to you online, now I know who you are. Now I know who you are. So you're talking to Sharon Felix and Bruce Wayne live on 91.9 FM, and we have Wendell Eversley here with us. So we call you to give you some real good news,
Okay.
Yeah. We have just gotten $1,000 for you.
Wow.
Yeah. Don't give Uncle Pile that,
Of course, Mother. Straight to the school for my education.
So here what you're going to do, I'll talk to you after the program. You have to go to the bank, First Citizen, to open a U.S. account. And it will be placed there, and any other monies that we or donate. We have a lot of people donate sometimes to any cause, and your cause is one of, and now that I realize that I know you, I'm going to push even harder. So we're going to continue. I'm going to ask for you to come in one day and we'll do a telethon and see how much money we can get to help you. All right? But you have to work on the U.S. account first so that the money can go into your account. All right?
Right. And citizens will guide me through that process. So they have a process to create U.S. accounts.
Yes. So what I will do is I'll speak to you after, because the person who is doing it and the person I'm talking to used to be a manager at First Citizen. So I think I will send your number to her, and you all will have a discussion. She'll guide you how to do it and how to where to go. All right?
No problem. Thank you so much.
So everything all is well?
Yes, I'm doing fine, Everybody's just trying to, remain safe at this moment.
Excellent. Well, my darling, I want to tell you, in good hands, don't worry. We're taking all the help we can get, but just to know that we have already started the ball rolling. Titans of Democracy. And tell Uncle Pile send a kiss for him.
Of course, you would love to hear that.
All right, darling. So I would call you, and you keep my number so that we can have a discussion, right?
No problem.
Okay, Aquina.
I have a nice day.
You too, darling. It's nothing I want. What do you have to say there, Wendell?
Well, it sees already people log on, listening, and they come forward in assisting this young lady, this young girl, 19 years old, and that is a milestone. And Sharon, when you hear these kind of news, and they put their constituency also on the map to show you that what these constituencies could produce. And I must say hats off to this young girl. I must say hats off also to her parents, because her parents guide her along and make sure that already the area that she come from, they keep her in line where her education is concerned.
That's right.
And education is the key to success right now.
All the time.
It's the key.
All the time.
When my daughter won a scholarship, I probably just say, they like to say, call us we uneducated, we stupid, we dotish, and sometimes we don't say it, but my daughter is a scholarship winner. And she went to one of the top 5 universities in the United States of America, Stony Brook University. And when you hear these kinds of when they hear these kinds,
it is touching.
It is touching. And when
Caller,
you see this,
quickly.
this
Good morning.
young girl with this.
Caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sharon and Wendell.
Good morning.
I'm glad to know that if people feel that Laverne don't have anything good, and I'm very proud about that young lady.
True. Amen.
And Miss Sharon, the lady that got shot on the beat-up down there, is anybody reaching out to her husband to give him assistance or anything to, with that situation, like for burial and...
I am sure. I was reading a story there where Mr. Griffith said he will talk to him, the husband, and he apologized, something like that. But we will find out better.
To give him assistance for burial.
But there is assistance for burial, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah? All right, guys. So we got to go right now. We on the countdown clock. I can't take any more calls. Anything you call me on my cell, 7264685. Up next is going to be the speech from the Prime Minister yesterday.
Cabinet press conference.
The cabinet. Right. Good. Nice. Excellent. And then at 10 o'clock, it's 10 a.m., we go live at the Mount Hope, Mount Lambert Community Center with the distribution of grants with the Self-Help Commission. Okay. All right, so guys, busy morning. We're gone. Guys, we can't take any more calls. You need to call me on my cell. So, Aquina, Titans of Democracy, come in. We're gone, guys.
Ciao.
Ding, 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 line, ding.
Talk your talk, but we know talk. Come talk with us. The Street 919 FM.
Get interactive with the Street 919 FM.
All day, every day. See us all live on our Facebook page.
Share and comment on our shows.
Like our page.
Chat with our live on-air announcers.
The Street 919's Facebook page.
Live and interactive all day, every day. The Street 919 FM.
Come talk with us.
Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
This is Reverend Dr. Glenroy Frank inviting you to tune in every Monday evening at 6:15 for the Light and Life Outreach Program. This program is sponsored by the People's Pentecostal Church. So come join us live and hear this word of God that is able to build and to strengthen your life. The Light and Life Outreach Program every Monday, 6:15. God bless you.
Yo, this is a Big Mike, not the mass man, the health man. Are you one of the 40 million people suffering with joint issues like rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis? Well, you are listening to the right ad. You have the ailment, we have the remedy. Call us now on 288-8301 or 346-2612.
Don't forget to tune in right here on the street 919 FM every Wednesday from 10:05 a.m.
Performance, beat all talk.
The Gospel of the Kingdom radio program with Gilbert James is now on the street at 919 FM. Every Sunday from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Monday, the Bible says the Gospel of the Kingdom shall be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end shall come. For more info, call 652-0924 or 298-4540 and join us every Sunday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. Monday for the Gospel of the Kingdom radio program with Gilbert James.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio.
Here's your opportunity to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly and guests as they lead in worship ministries of the Word and Prayer. That's every Sunday at 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and every Wednesday from 9 p.m. to midnight on the street 919 FM, where we deal with today's issues from a biblical perspective. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. You'll be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Your life and family will never be the same. You are welcome to visit our website, www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org. Like us on Facebook. Your financial support will be greatly appreciated. Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank. You can contact us at 753-1113.
Talk your talk, but we know talk.
Come talk with us.
The Street
919 FM.
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The Street 919FM.com.
My deepest condolences to the families of the 4 people who have been killed in an encounter with the police and citizens in the last few days. We had firstly a police officer who was killed by gunfire, and we had 3 members of the national community in Mova, a community I know very well, a community I could say I grew up in, who were killed when they encountered police units in the streets. So we have 4 people who have been killed by gunfire. This is not uncommon in Trinidad and Tobago because in recent years, even though we do not make firearms in this country, the presence and use of firearms threaten to derail this country's progress. And every so often, something like this happens, which calls for an additional focus and additional attention. We have seen members of the communities around the country expressing themselves in outrage, in anger, in sadness, and in hope. Anger that it has been too prevalent, killings by police officers of civilians in the national population. Sadness that it brings pain from the loss of people who have been killed. Hope that justice would be served for all those persons who deserve justice, and that we would find a way out of this situation where our young people in particular would not be resorting to the kind of mob behavior, or worse, organized by the criminal element in the search for justice or revenge. There's a big difference between justice and revenge. Justice requires that persons who have been wronged should be able to determine that their concerns are met and that there is a certain amount of recompense. But for justice to be served, there's the little business of evidence. Evidence is required to be gathered properly to become justiciable. In Trinidad and Tobago, the Parliament looked at this matter before the whole question of interactions between the police and the national community, which could result in allegations of misconduct of one kind or another, especially if it involves violence and if it involves harm and death. We have a police complaints authority which has the duty to investigate the actions of police officers, particularly where the outcome has been one of such great sadness, generating such anger. But I would be less than honest with you if I just tell you, leave it to the police complaints authority. Because I too, as a member of parliament for the area, having experienced this before, as a citizen, having seen this before, and wanting justice to be done, not just for those who against whom the allegation would have been made, and against those who would have, for those who would have lost members of their community or their family, but for the national community to know that something has gone on here. This is what has gone on, and this is the person or these are the people who are held accountable. Unfortunately, this has not been our experience that we could just sit back and say, okay, leave it to the police complaints authority, and one day they will churn out a result. It has not been functioning that way, and that loss of or absence of confidence is there. And that means that when the Parliament thought that we would have dealt with these matters in that way, we still have to wait for that kind of outcome. So we have to ensure that there are proper investigations that generate evidence. Now, how is the evidence to be treated with? In this particular case, a number of officers, I do not know the number because I have not seen a number. As chairman of the National Security Council, I've been told that there were 2 or 3 of our units that met up in this area and met these young people, and there were reasons to resort to the use of force, and the force resulted in their death. And of course, before, one of our officers were out there, and he encountered persons who shot at him, resulting in his death. So, in this situation, to call for immediate action without the evidence is to call for revenge as against justice. I believe that all those persons who are calling for justice are completely correct. And I find common cause with them in that. Those who are demanding revenge, I warn against that approach. There has to be a clear distinction between justice and revenge. It is my expectation as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and as Chairman of the National Security Council that the evidence surrounding all of this will be gathered and that the evidence will determine who was responsible to be held accountable. And if the process, as is spelled out in the law, as the evidence is collected, does not result in a clear distinction or determination of who is responsible, then the next step of the process is anticipated, and that is a full coroner's inquest to determine where the facts are not clear, to determine who is responsible. We cannot take the position that there are too many people on the scene, so we cannot determine which one. The evidence has to be sought for to its fullest. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a bigger problem, and the problem is this. Just how much of this is emotion and how much of it is by prior agenda. I could tell you, I have no doubt that many of the people in the streets who came out demanding justice and revenge do not have all the information. Neither do I. But I have sufficient information to be able to say to the national community what we've seen since Monday is the worst of what we are exposed to. We are exposed to a situation where there are many young people, particularly young people in our national society, who have obtained firearms, either for their own protection from other persons, many of whom are criminals, or out of fear of criminal conduct against them, or to use those firearms against persons who are targets of criminality. That's a fact. That being so, the options available to the national community, a community which expects that we be law-abiding and that there would be law enforcement, would then see police officers required to be armed. So, we have armed citizens for reasons as I've just described, and you have armed police officers who are required to suppress that criminality, to disarm such persons, and in many instances, at the risk of their own lives. So when those two situations come together, as is commonplace in Trinidad and Tobago, armed civilians encountering armed police officers, it is not unexpected that there will be outcomes of this nature. Today, I'm appealing to the young people of this country and saying to them, the young and the not so young, when you take up arms for whatever reason, you are automatically putting yourselves in harm's way with respect to law enforcement. Because the only response that the state will provide in that situation, on that moment, is an armed contingent. It is not reasonable to assume that with the level of armed civilians in this country, that the response would be unarmed police officers. I think it is quite understood that the police officers would be armed. But on the other side of the coin, our police officers being armed to respond have to respond within the law. And they too require justice. And they too must not pursue revenge. And they too must be exposed to the rigors of evidence. So it has to be dealt with to a completeness where there's justice for all, and the systems have to be made to work. It is not only policing that is a response to this problem that we are facing. This problem is deeper, it's older, it's fairer, if that's a word like that, and it's wider. It's chronic in Trinidad and Tobago now, that we anticipate that armed police will go out to respond to armed civilians in various communities. I want to tell the national community that what we saw, the spontaneous and sporadic fires in the streets and the in-your-face responses to the police officers was organized. But that doesn't change the story that we have the problem of firearms in our community to be used for a variety of purposes, and armed police officers who are required to eliminate that. Because the state pays attention to safety and security, we have gathered prior to the street marches and the street fires some information that this was being organized by persons known to the police. But there's a difference between information and evidence. But the information we had made us aware of what was being organized and who was organizing it. I trust that eventually, somewhere along the way, that information will evolve into evidence so that persons who threaten the national safety, security, and well-being will also be brought to justice sometime, somewhere. I've heard it said that the government, which I lead, has some responsibility for most of the people who have taken part in the street protests. And let me make it very clear. In our country, this free country, there's absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, there's provision in law for protest, march, but it has to be done in a particular way, within the law, and certainly without the use of violence and destruction. So those who want to protest because of how they feel or because they want to draw to the attention of those who are in the authority in the country, that is protected by law, and there's nothing wrong with that. When it turns to violence and destruction, then that's a different story which cannot be encouraged and which cannot be ignored. So for those who have a hand in organizing this, what in effect they're contributing to this chronic situation is a worsening of an already bad situation. And to them, we say, run your run. Those persons I'm talking about there, some of them are 2x4 politicians, some of them are hardened criminals for whom crime does pay. But I was saying that it was being said that there was some political shortcoming on the part of this government which caused this to have happened, let me address that in this country and remind this country that this is the country of live sport. This is the country where our government started out spending $6 million in a program called Live Sport, spent over $400 million and created a criminal network that still haunts this country, which made it easy to organize what you saw there last few days. Many of the same players are at work, but I'm not the police. And as for ignoring the constituencies that support the PNM where this ought never to have happened, according to some people, let me remind you all that in 2004, the government of the day, like most people in this country, like the government before, saw the potential for this kind of outcome, where misguided inner city youth, ill-prepared for the workplace, angry at their circumstance, deprived of opportunity, discriminated against by some, we saw the potential for this kind of development. I was in the parliament, I was in the government. There was a pilot project that was done in the said Laventil area to determine how we treat with this so as to prevent this from being the outcome. The outcome being that if people behave the way they behaved in the last few days, then nobody in this country benefits and everybody is a loser. Whether you live in Charlottesville, Carapichaima, or Cedros, if this is what is going to happen in your country, everybody is a loser. And we saw that potential. And that pilot project predated 2004. The government of which I was a part put in the development program that year the funding of that program to arrest this potential, to nip this in the bud by special programs. This is one of those situations which fall under the maxim that special problems require special solutions. And that was in the budget, it was in the development program passed the lower house. When it got to the Senate, a certain Wade Mark saw it and took issue with the fact that the government of the day was embarking on a special response to inner city youth, black people in particular, who occupy these areas in the country. The young black youth who was underperforming, available for the criminal element to recruit, not developing the skills to participate in the economy, and creating an environment in which the very home and the community was being deprived of services because those who provide service to the rest of the country would ignore those areas because of the fear of crime. There was an objection to that program. I stood alone in the parliament, and the Hansard will bear me out. I stood alone in the parliament to defend that program. I was called a racist because I was defending black people and programs in the parliament, in the development program for black people. I was called a racist. My own colleagues determined that it was a misprint to pacify those who objected to the program. And the program was abandoned. That was 16 years ago. I have no doubt that some of the young people who were on the streets 2 days ago and who are still talking about going on the street, some of them were born about that time or they were very young at that time. And a program of that nature was aimed at them. I was accused of discrimination in favor of my own. And for yet another time, I was called a racist. In this country, it is fashionable to jump on other people's bandwagon. When you're in this country, jump on Black Lives Matter, talk about Mr. Floyd in America, but turn a blind eye to our own situation here. The parliament came under such a severe attack for a program like that the program was abandoned. So when my colleague talks about what the PNM didn't do for the PNM supporters in Laventille, I want to remind her it was her opposition to this program meant to head this off 16 years ago that might have created the 20-year-old that was in the street threatening to kill the police last week. The intention was that we could have steered them away from that. But what did I do when I got the authority of this country? I became Prime Minister in this country September 2015. By October 2016, this government initiated a program in Laventille. It was called the MOVA Laventille Initiative. And the intention was to break the cycle of violence and the lost youth. It focused on 25 schools in the greater Laventille area, 20 primary schools and 5 secondary schools. And we brought them to the Queen's Park Savannah at the grandstand. And I, as Prime Minister, addressed them and asked them to be the change that will change what was happening, that was leading to this. And we outfitted them in the jerseys which they still wear, with the logo on their chest, I am the change. And we're still hoping that they will be the change, because that program, which cost $30 million, 2016 to now, it was disrupted by the COVID lockdown and so on, but the program is still alive, aiming to get the young people before they were lost. That's what we did. We didn't come to the parliament and attack anybody about discrimination and race. We physically got into a program with the area of greatest need and inner city problems. The MOVA Laventille Initiative. That day, with 1,500 young people in the grandstand, it was a focus on the bud, focused on the need to change attitudes. There were 4 platforms in that to teach them numeracy and literacy in these 25 schools. Parental involvement was platform number 2 in that program, because these children, many of them, were not getting the level of parental involvement in their care and education. And we set about to nurture that in the program. Infrastructure improvement was platform number 3. Make sure that the school and the school environment, the physical environment, was welcoming and useful. We spent money on that. And of course, we are promoting discipline among the young people. And the results we got after a year or 2 is that the teachers had seen a significant improvement in the discipline in the school, from attendance to behavior. That's what we were doing. That's what we will be doing. That's what we have been doing. And that's where we have gone, to treat with this never-ending supply of persons who see little hope in a wider national community where they are not treated as fairly as they would like, as they think, and as they should be. So today, we have 4 dead people, many grieving families, and a bruised nation. I'm sorry, 5, because during the I'm reminded it's 5. During the disturbance, a 5th person got killed. So 5 dead people and a number of families grieving for the loss, and a bruised nation looking to the future, hoping that this would be a thing of the past. But as long as we are awash with firearms, and there are individuals in the community who believe that they could engage the police in a firefight, and we do have young men who believe that they can engage the police, we say to them in the national community, that is a war that you will not win, and that is a war that you should not declare. The police is not your enemy. The police is the protector and the server of all. And I want to say to those who are law-abiding that you, like me, we have an interest in the police not being the enemy. And we have every benefit to be had if the police is viewed as the protector of our peace and safety. So all those who have been laying threats to take police life and so on, I ask you to think again, because that is not a response. That is revenge and not justice. And those who are law-abiding, you have to depend on the police, because someday, sometime, if it becomes what some people think it can become, you too, after God, the next name you call is the police. And you would always need the police. So let's not go down that road. And for all the citizens from all the communities that are plagued by this very high level of crime and criminality and violence and gun violence, I want to say to you that we need not invent any wheel here. We would have seen how in one particular Caribbean country where this same kind of problem existed with the underprivileged. And the underprivileged fell under the control of the well-resourced and adventurous criminal element. And the outcome of that was that they created no-go areas in that city where the police did not patrol and would not respond to persons who required policing. And that ended very badly for those communities, those people, and that country. I will say to Trinidad and Tobago that the government of Trinidad and Tobago ought not to and will not allow that to develop in Trinidad and Tobago. But having said that, the resolve to ensure that that commitment is kept would bring us face to face with those for whom that kind of development is success. We warn against it, and we will work to bring about an alternative. And how do we do that? The alternative that I would initiate, or should I say reinitiate today, is the establishment by the government of Trinidad and Tobago of a community recovery program aimed specifically at these problem areas which give birth and sustenance to the lawlessness, the hurt, the anger, the discrimination, and all the negatives that are associated with what some people glibly call hotspots. That term covers a multitude of undesirable living. Most people in those areas have the same ambition, require the same service, require peace and prosperity. So hotspot and dismiss is not how we'll approach this. We'll approach it as special areas requiring special attention. And what that attention is going to be, we will put a little effort into finalizing the nature of the attention. But the first thing we will do is to draw on our national intellect and experience. Today, the Cabinet approved the establishment of this National Recovery Program, led by a team of persons whose skills will allow that program to determine the action plans for these areas. The team is to be led by the very experienced Mr. Anthony Watkins, a man who holds a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and who has spent his life working in the fields of social pathology, mental health, correctional services, and psychiatric forensic assessment. Qualified academically and qualified by years of experience. He would lead this team into these areas. With him would be Hans Aaron Devines, who is familiar to a young man who knows the young people, knows their language, knows their aspirations. With them would be Jamal Shabazz, who knows more about this than most of us, knows them by name, and also have ideas as to what the solutions could be. Curtis Toussaint, Nian Gadsby Dolly from the government, who holds currently the post of a Minister of Government, Community Development and Culture. She would be the team. Nicola Harvey of Laventil, highly qualified, very experienced and energetic. And Okosua Edwards, another young person who can help. These people, and we may add one or two others in the coming days, would be free to co-opt from the communities and the national community at large. And in short order, will design the pathway forward. I see this as an appendage to the recovery program that we have been engaged in, the post-COVID recovery. This too is a recovery that we're aiming for. And we take it in that context and we will imbibe it into that recovery. But specific to these areas that have specific needs, because there are specific problems to be addressed. And having said that, I will not be dissuaded to change course from this by any person who believe that this has to do with the race, religion, or geography. This has to do with the peace, security, and good order and opportunity for all the people of Trinidad and Tobago, particularly those persons who live this experience. We aim to change that experience. So those are my observations and those are my actions as head of the government. And I expect that in the coming days, every effort would be made to gather every sliver and iota of evidence through the system as it exists to ensure that evidence would lead to justice, and justice will eschew revenge. Ladies and gentlemen, today is not a good day, but let us hope that as we bury the dead, which came about from our general shortcomings, that we will resolve to make tomorrow a better day. Not only for ourselves, but for the people who live in communities like these in Trinidad and Tobago. I expect that the police, the DPP, who has the authority for a coroner's inquest, I presume, or whoever is involved, if it comes to that, if there is a lack of clarity at the first pass, we expect that there would be such development. Every avenue of law enforcement based on evidence and fairness to exonerate and to hold accountable in every situation. To have justice for the police officer and for the families who have had to face that outcome. Justice cannot be a one-sided thing, ought never to be. Justice is blind with a scale of balance.
All right, so Trinidad and Tobago, when I thought I was going, when we thought we were going to leave, let me see again to the speech of the post-cabinet meeting from the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I would have said, and I want to see, thank you very much, Dr. Rowley. But when I thought I was leaving, I didn't realize it was less than an hour.
Yes.
So I decided to stay. See how I love all you? I decided to stay. And Wendell is here too. I say, nobody shall leave. If I'm not leaving, no one shall leave. So Trinidad and Tobago, I'm here. It's 8:35 a.m. And today is the 3rd of July, 2020. And let me take this opportunity to wish a number of people happy birthday, like Gary Cordner and so on. Gary, happy birthday to you.
I know Tuesday is my birthday.
When is your birthday?
Tuesday.
Jill is this I seen here.
Well,
that's why you use a bacchanal so. Tomorrow is Isaiah.
I could say it now. No, we drink it.
Tomorrow is my son's birthday, my last son's birthday, Isaiah. And on Monday is my eldest son's birthday. He's the 6th.
Dancer is loving people, you know.
Yeah.
Loving people.
But they like to find they like to mind your business, you know. They like to mind your business, yeah. Yeah, nah. The two of them.
I don't know which zodiac sign the male's bad lucky.
Bad lucky.
I say that.
Loving people. We don't hold people in mind.
True?
No, we don't hold people in mind.
You know that true? Isaiah has get vexed with me now and say all kind of thing he gone. And then he come back and say, you know, I love you. Kiss me now. And I say, I don't want to. Mommy, you're not real, you know. Kiss your son.
And 20 years like us.
Papa. Trinidad and Tobago. I'm seeing Prime Minister turning many wanted Digo state lands. And the construction of the $230 million Digo Martin vehicular overpass and the administrative complex on land opposite Victoria Keys housing complex caused the Prime Minister Keith Rowley to gain enemies, he admitted yesterday. The sod turning ceremony took place at the Cokereed Farms at the corner of Digo Martin Highway and Western Main Road, along with the commissioning of the West Park Savannah, which cost $8 million to develop. Delivering the feature address, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley revealed that he had made enemies as many people wanted a parcel of land for various other projects. I was passing a morning in the area and saw part of the land fenced off, which was done by a state agency. I called the Port of Spain mayor and said, "Do you know your land is being stolen? Get up and stop it." This land is to be put to use for the people of the Western Peninsula, and this is what we have done. Dr. Rowley said that the road leading to the administrative complex and the West Park Savannah will be named after the late PNM Digo Martin Central MP and local government minister Ken Valley, whom he said did a lot for his constituency, and the government saw it fit to honor him. The Prime Minister noted that the Digo Martin Regional Corporation, which has been in a termite-infested building, will be housed in the administrative complex along with the majority state-owned bank First Citizen, which will be renting the space to help fund the corporation. He said a solution was needed to end the traffic nightmare experience. Oh gosh, praise the Lord. Between the Digo Martin Highway and the Western Main Road. Oh, thank you, Jesus. You know, it has been like a sin to boy.
The ministry, you don't want to be out there.
At all, the Ministry of Works and Transport engineers came up with an uncomplicated traffic solution, which when built will bring safety and efficiency to the use of these roads and make it easier for the people living in Digo Martin to access Westmore. The people in Victoria Gardens who objected to name of the housing complex Victoria Keys will also realize that the traffic solution is also for their benefit. The Prime Minister also added that naysayers would see these projects as an election gimmick, but stated projects such as these were being carefully drafted for execution. Also speaking was Minister of Works and Transport, Ruan Sirinan, who boasted that the overpass, which is costing $190 million plus VAT, is being constructed at no cost to the taxpayer due to savings from the due to savings from the Currap interchange of $274 million. He said a saving such as the Currap interchange will now create employment in Diego Martin and going to create more employment in the east-west corridor with 2 additional interchange. Silinan said despite the major economic challenges, 4 major highway projects are taking place, including the highway in Valencia, which will soon house a port and also bring employment to the residents in the area. The contractors for the overpass and complex is a joint venture between China Railway Construction along with Junior Sammy Construction Limited.
Well done. They ain't doing nothing for you.
No, they ain't doing nothing. You go in Diego Martin. Well, within the cover, you could have go anyway. You could have just put yourself on auto and you're going anyway, nothing to stop you. But you in a normal day to go Diego Martin, oh Jesus and ages, and don't let 4 o'clock hit you. It's bacchanal and confusion. So, hi, boy. Who replaced Liat? Mia favors private airline to replace. All right, so Trinidad and Tobago, I take in your calls, yes? We have a couple of maybe chow down the place and we have to chow back in.
I have a road match song to play for you.
True.
From 1976.
Look, I want.
1976,
Kachi.
Black woman.
Good morning.
Hey, boy, Wendell, boy.
Good
morning. Wendell, over that.
Good morning, Grandy.
Wendell, over that.
Good morning, Grandy.
Yes,
morning.
Morning, everybody. Sharon, I feel proud this morning because I from Laventille too. I from Old St. Joseph Road. You see which part of them housing them homeless place? On Council Street. Next to Piccadilly Street running right there. Right? I feel proud of a young girl because let me tell you, out of Laventille, plenty great people was born. Chris Simon, the inventor of the steel band, is from Laventille. Right, John there. We have Sammy Nowellen, a footballer, represent. Jules Bernard, the commissioner. We have police, doctors. All kind of things come out of Laventille, Sharon, but we is not showing off people. We just keep quiet and listen to people. So I feel proud this morning, and I want my brothers and sisters in Port of Spain to back the government because we on a road to recovery, right? Due to the oil prices, certain things couldn't done. How the treasury was left by the last government put pressure on the government and nobody was sent home, right? And now the government trying to bring it back. Stick with the government because they lock up 10,000 of us and say that they will find charges after they had no evidence away and lock we up and say charge them after, right? So I just want look at the Diego Martin, the Crep interchange, the Moruga, going and get a dry dock. We up here in Tocos and the Grande. We get in the port, we get in the road. This will open up unemployment, brothers and sisters. Let's go out there and work, right? Let's bear with the government because things was tough under this economic situation, right? So it will get better because she is trying to fool, just as she fooled us and said 60-year-old will get pension and then to come back and say it's a misprint. Partner, once a mistake, twice it will fail. Don't make that mistake, brothers and sisters. Okay, Sharon, you all have a blessed day.
Thank you very much. You see that? You seen that? Caller, good morning. Okay, we lost that call. Caller, good morning.
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 Sharon.
This song is my friend.
Very, very familiar. I'm calling for some time. But I must call in. I listened to the Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Christopher early yesterday. And I continue to listen to him, and I'm hearing a man of vision for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So I thought I'd call in a bit to the in the Laventille Mover area, which we have spoken about all about this morning. A lot of negative things have plagued for a few people in the negative have broad brush the entire Laventille Mover East Port of Spain area as though there is nothing good
out of this area. Of course, the gentleman just called before would have alluded to a few of the success, but there are a lot of scholars that have come out of Laventille Mova in mathematics, history, computer science. I know computer science, Cheryl's nephew, or in fact cousin, Cheryl Gordon's nephew, very early in the Laventille area, was out of Fatima. He was he got a scholarship in computer science, very, very early in Laventille, Success Village, Laventille, right? And my son, and a young lady from Caledonia, number 2, right? They got the Commonwealth Scholarship in mathematics. They got the gold and silver in mathematics in Laventille. You know, a lot of success story. Laventille is very much talented in culture, dance, music, pan tuning, spoken words, you name it. There's a lot of it. You know, thus I am advocating for arts and education in the Laventille Mova area. And I think it should be put in the curriculum. And Mr. Watkins, more or less, would be more or less, he's alluded to that in our committee, which I've sat with him before, you know, and they are looking at it that way. We need arts and education in the Laventille Mova area, and you will get a bigger success, you know, out of it. So that one day I think I should come in and talk to you. The Prime Minister would have, and he said so yesterday about the initiative in the Mova Laventille, you know, that has done a very good job in the Laventille Mova area. Of course, it's a holistic approach to bring forward the people of Laventille Mova. And you wouldn't believe within the short period, these haven't been highlighted, but a lot of the schools in the area got children for colleges and convents. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of good things in the Laventille. There are a lot of good things and a little negative. A few people have painted a broad brush and negativity over the Laventille Mova area. And I think one day I should come in and have a chat with you, or we should talk, so to talk about the progress in the Mova Laventille area. It is very, very important. And I want to applaud the Prime Minister, which is for the initiative, because he's very, very much concerned, very, very, very much concerned about the people in Mova Laventille, East Port of Spain, Vitam and Sealand. He's very, very much concerned. And his program, this Laventille Mova School Improvement Program, which he alluded to yesterday, is holistic, yes, it will take some time, but it's working, and it has started to produce some results. You realize that when he came into office, there were a lot of crimes committed by students in the schools and all this kind of thing. It was up in the sky in 2015, 2016, you know, subsequent to his initiative. You're hardly hearing about these things in the schools in the Mova Laventille area. Everything is about outside the school and not inside the school. You know, so there's a lot of progress, and I think this committee is put together is another of his intention to promote a good, the better good of the people in Mova Laventille, Vitam, Sealand, and East Port of Spain. Okay, this is my contribution. Thank you for allowing me, and I hope that I'll get to talk with you so we can talk further about the progress. There are a lot of big success. Mr. Quaina is just one, but there are other, just their predecessors, and we don't talk about them. They catch the tail, yes, opportunities like this, and I'm very happy that we are making forward, and probably I myself will make contributions to make sure that Aquina get where she's going to. You understand? So thank you for allowing me this contribution. God bless. Bruce and Sharon, and of course, Mr. Eversley.
Yeah, man.
Have a pleasant day.
Thank you very much.
There are a lot of educational food for thought there. Well knowledgeable.
That's the man who, the essay competition, that is the man who makes sure the children was registered at the ministry, and both him and Miss Cheryl Gordon put together, and they got the person to do the...
and one of the things you talk about too is the cultural background of Laventille. I mean, people really
would know what he talking
cultural,
about.
Yes, and it's facts. It's facts, and you all remember the song when David Rudder sang "Where the Man with the Hammer Gone," and who was that person you were singing? You were singing about that was the man with the pan, the pan himself, the tuner, and I think out of Laventille, if people think we could get a pan theatre, pan industry, And I'm sure Porter Spade, who has been locked on listening to your program every day, he's a pride of Despaz. He's a pride of Despaz. He will give you a whole inside-out history, background of Despaz. Even the former president of Pantry Bureau is from Laventille also.
Yes, caller.
Morning, Sharon.
Good morning, sir.
Morning to Mr. Eversley.
Good morning.
Morning to the DJ Bruce Wayne.
Morning.
This baseline. You don't tired? So my DJ name is baseline.
That's what you said you were mad for you.
Sharon, a lot of people say, leave donkey here.
I know it's donkey.
Yeah, a lot of people.
All them set a name you're calling about baseline and what?
Yeah. As a do DJ music too, I know Bruce Wayne, Uncle, fly on. Anyway, a lot of people are saying Mr. Rowley, Dr. Rowley wasn't saying anything. Eh? You see how he's that person is very precise? He just wait at the right moment and see what he has to say. I listened to his speech. Very, 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 very articulate and intelligent. He was on point. Right? And he said 16 years ago, when he got up to do certain things and he raised the issue in Parliament, he was called a racist by the opposition. You understand? And a certain program was what he wanted to implement now. He then wanted to implement, and it would have been gone a long way. You wouldn't have all this other. The whole situation is not just crime, you know. We had to have initiatives to alleviate the crime, which is the other program as the Dr. Rowley have in mind. Right, so I did sit down and lockdown. I'm not clear on this time.
Thank you.
Good program as usual.
Thank you very much, Donkey.
But China, I like how you say that, Dr. Rowley took his time and, and have a reason for that, The reason for that is so that he wouldn't end up like this.
Because should you call these elections whilst thousands of citizens of our country are outside of the country, you'll be disenfranchised and you take away their...
What?
Just drink your rum and get on my face. Get on my face.
Oh, Bruce, I was a big that boy. Anyhow, guys, this time...
The war machine working.
This time, we're really getting ready to leave. The word for today is amazing. Really amazing. And I am particularly saying Dr. Rowley is amazing. I am filled with wonder and amazement. Life is amazing. My heart and soul are touched as I pause to consider the sacredness of every single moment of my life. As I behold each moment as holy, I look at my life with wonder and amazement. To keep this awareness alive, I make time to enjoy beauty wherever I find it. I commit to being fully present to those around me, which deepens my connection to them. When I realize that each part of my life is infused in divine energy, I feel renewed wonder as I look into a friend's eyes, attend a spiritual service, learn something new, or even when I tend the more mundane aspects of my day. Amazement continues to fill me as I behold the divine in every person, all situations, and each moment. Thanks be to God for his indesirable gift. 2 Corinthians, or his indescribable gift. 2 Corinthians 9:15. Trinidad and Tobago, it's really amazing when I can sit between 2 men that we share a platform. We don't have to belong to the same political organization, the same house. We don't have to eat the same food, but we share the same vision, all 3 of us. And that is the betterment and the best for Trinidad and Tobago citizens.
Yep.
So, TNT, this is where we leave it for this time, for real. We ciao going to be. We gone?
Ciao.
919 FM. The views expressed are not necessarily the views